Hey, what's up guys? It's Luke. Thanks for watching this video. I'm a photographer here in the Sacramento area, and most of the days as a photographer, it's great. I love being a photographer. But sometimes it can suck, especially when you have your own business. And guys, I just got my first 1-star Yelp review, and I thought it was like someone trolling me because, 1 star is pretty bad. It means you have really bad service. Someone really hated your work. You made a big mistake, something like that. And I was thinking, I don't think I had any really poor photo shoots recently. I'd never gotten a 1 star. I've never even gotten 4 below. Every single review so far on my Yelp page, it's a modest 40 reviews. Right now 41, but every one of them has been a 5-star review, and I've been so proud of that. And so I thought, I got a 1-star review. What is up with that? Well, when I went back to check, I saw it and they said I'd ghosted them. I didn't show up to their photo shoot. And then I started to dig and do some research on who this person was. And the fact of the matter is, it was my fault. Yes, it really was my fault. I did something a couple weeks ago that really screwed myself up, and I couldn't fix it. I don't know about you, but my life really revolves around Google Calendar. If I don't have something on Google Calendar, I will not be there. I remember a few years ago, Gmail went out, Google Calendar went out, and I think it stopped the world. The world just could not go with those services gone. And at the time, I had a business, but I guess I hadn't really needed it at the time. It was only out for a couple hours, and so, not a big deal. But for businesses who rely on it day in and day out for, office communication or communication that needs to happen all the time with clients, that could be a big problem. Well, I deleted one of my calendars that I had on Google Calendar. And this calendar, I thought it was a duplicate calendar, so I decided I just need to clear up my calendar. I want to kind of streamline everything. I clicked delete. Okay, delete it, and it was gone. But as it turns out, this Google Calendar was my sort of legacy calendar with all my old shoots on it. I had made a new one with my newer shoots, but this calendar had all my old shoots from 10 years back all on this calendar. And I still had shoots that I knew I had put on that calendar and not had on the newer calendar, but since they were both, being utilized by the same, one calendar that I had through Gmail, I thought, I don't know. I just thought I had a duplicate calendar, and it wasn't a duplicate. It was my legacy calendar, like I just said, and I lost all my information from all my old shoots, which really sucks. But I was like, I could live with that. What I couldn't live with was I have maybe a handful of shoots still on that calendar that I have no idea should be happening because that calendar is gone. And the first casualty was my Yelp 5-star perfect review thing, because I had a shoot this past Saturday that was on that calendar. I tried to recover that calendar right when I deleted it. I looked up how to retrieve the calendar. It's unretrievable. I couldn't get it back. That calendar is gone forever. I went back into histories. I did all sorts of things. I went to Google and I searched how do I retrieve it, and lo and behold, there are other people who were asking the same question because they had done the same thing I had done, and they could not retrieve it. I guess the only way to retrieve it is if you had shared that calendar and someone else had it on their computer, and then you could look at theirs and somehow maybe you could, restore it through them. But this calendar has been with me since it was just by myself. I had not shared this calendar with anybody. It was just my calendar since I started my business. And so the simple fact of just deleting this Google Calendar really just ruined a lot of things for me. I've lost all my old information, and now there may be shoots in the future, and this makes me really nervous that I don't have calendared, and I have no idea should be coming up. Now, I think it might be one or two. I don't think it's a lot, because most of my new shoots have been scheduled on this new calendar that I have. I have coworkers that I work with now that I've shared this calendar. They have access to this calendar. It's like my new calendar going forward. But like I said, in trying to clean up sort of the mess, I deleted my original older calendar, and I didn't show up for the shoot. And let's take a look at the review. Let's see what it says. Alright, so here is my Yelp page. If I go to reviews, let's sort it by newest first. This is nice. I got a 5-star, and then here it is. Kelly O. Photographer didn't show. I booked him months in advance and confirmed with him the week before. On the day he didn't meet us at the agreed place and time, didn't respond to texts or calls. I still haven't heard from him a day later. We had people fly in from multiple states for this photo session with my 92-year-old grandmother. Very disappointing. I don't blame her for that. I don't blame her at all, because if people were flying in, this was like a family reunion type deal. 92-year-old grandmother coming in, and when I saw that review, I actually did a search for that name, and I found the old text. Now, these texts, we had been texting up to a week before, for sure. But here's the deal. When we're texting, and I know that, oh, I've got this shoot coming up on my calendar, you know, we're all good to go, I just kind of assume that this shoot is on my Google Calendar. And so on the day of or the night before, I have shoots like every day. So it's very difficult to just kind of confirm. I'm constantly editing. I'm constantly going to shoots, coming back from shoots. I rely on that Google Calendar. And without that Google Calendar's help, this job got lost in the mix, because I deleted it. Deleted that Google Calendar, not this job. I didn't delete that job off the calendar. Deleted the calendar, the entire calendar. And so that really, really sucked. And I hate it so bad. I've made mistakes before as a photographer. I've done stupid things where, you know, I've lost photos for a job. I've done thousands of photo shoots at this point, and I understand. There will be things that happen where you screw up and things get lost. Memory cards can go out. That happens. Calendars can get deleted. That can happen. You try so hard for these things not to happen. I've reached out to this person via text. I'm offering her some compensation. I mean, I fully take responsibility for this gaffe on my part, and she has every right to be super angry. I hope she responds to my text. It might be late. I saw that they're from Illinois, and obviously they'd flown in here. So maybe they'll respond by tomorrow, and I hope they do, and I can maybe offer them something that makes the situation a little better. I mean, obviously, we all have cell phones. It sucks to have to take photos via cell phone. I think cell phone quality is horrific. You have to have a nice camera, especially for these really big events. You want a really clear picture with good lighting and all of the things, and that was what I was supposed to provide. But it didn't happen because of this gaffe, and it just makes me feel bad that happened. And so I hope it never happens again. There is a sinking feeling in me where there might be 1 or 2 or 3 or more photo shoots that were on my old calendar that I had scheduled way in advance that are kind of in the ether right now. So that legitimately scares me, because I hate that feeling, and I know I can't get that calendar back. Google, people depend on these calendars. There's got to be some sort of fail-safe, not just, are you sure you want to delete it? Yeah, I am. Maybe it goes to a trash bin for like 30 days, you know, like something like that. I mean, a lot of computer programs kind of do that, right? Where you delete something, it's not really deleted, it kind of holds it for a little while. Especially calendars, man, I can't believe it. If businesses, you know, have these calendars that they rely on for maybe not for me, maybe just hundreds of dollars worth of, business and photo shoots. But if we're talking thousands to millions to billions of dollars, and they're relying on stuff like Google Calendar, which is very, very popular, obviously. I know a lot of places rely on these tools from the internet and from Gmail and Google. If you accidentally delete something like a Google Calendar, I feel like, man, there should be some sort of safeguard that they could provide for us poor schmucks who do that unfortunate act that happened with me. But anyways, I'll take the hit for sure. I'll own that hit. I wish I still had a 5 perfect rating on Yelp, but I totally understand why she left a 1-star review. She must have been so angry, so upset, so disappointed. It just makes me feel horrible. But that's the way things are. That's the way things happen. So that's sort of the downside about the business. I want to please every single one of my clients and customers and people I work with. I really strive hard to do that. Sometimes there are things that happen, and it's part of the business, and you just gotta roll with those punches. Thanks for listening to this little story of mine. I hope this never happens to you. If you're a Google Calendar user, just be careful. Don't delete your calendar. Sometimes even just deleting a post out of it. I think that's recoverable. If you delete like an event or something, I think you can get those back, because I read that, I think, in my research. But don't delete your full calendar, especially if you're the only one that has it. That's going to be a nightmare. Unless one day Google fixes that. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope they do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.